May the 13th, boxing for Blackpool is back because all 6 of you are all Blackpool lads. 5 of you are on the VIP team, and Jake on the end there, Jake Darnell, you're making your VIP debut, mate.
Well, yeah.
Is this going to be your first time fighting at home as well, because you're a Blackpool boy?
It's going to be my first and only. It's been a fucking ball ache, you know. Road warrior all the way.
Well, you had a classic start to your career because it was on the big stage against Fraser Clark, wasn't it?
Thrown straight in, weren't I?
Did you enjoy it though?
Loved every minute of it. Do it all again.
Yeah?
Yeah, good lad.
Do we have an opponent for you on the thing?
Andy, you just said, haven't you?
Yeah, Andy Nails.
Says hard as fuck.
Who have you got?
Reece Summit.
Oh, Reece Barlow.
Yeah.
Yeah, another man on the road himself, like, you know what I mean? So the gloves are off, mate. The gloves are off, and hopefully you can get a second win on the home show.
I bet Andy said he's going to let me out.
Well, do you know, Jake, I actually was you win when you beat Jamie Anderson. It was at Salford at the AJ Bell, where you turned him over.
Looked alright then, didn't I? I looked like I could do a bit.
I was really surprised with your jab, mate. You got a lovely jab.
Plodding forward, weren't he? Easy bit.
But on the other end, we have Lewis Wright making your debut in your hometown, mate.
Yeah,
big night for you, Lewis.
Yeah, exciting times. It's I've done the last comp with jabs, and then just getting all the license sorted and everything. So I've been back in proper training since like early January, and then obviously been through this full camp as well.
Well, I just watched you being chased around the ring.
Yeah, getting hard, mate.
all 4 of them, all these light kids. It's no fun, that, isn't it? But
no, it's funny. I lent jabs my winning gloves. I paid for these winning gloves. I had money, and they're getting wrapped around my head. It's so funny, isn't it?
But I remember, it reminds me of when I was a young man and I was down at Matchroom and I was training down there, and you used to have Herbie Hyde, you know, the dancing destroyer. But he used to practice and work with the British flyweight champion Francis Amapo, and it just reminded me of that. Them, you know, them all flirting around.
Yeah, I feel like, especially like as an heavyweight, you benefit from it a lot for your sharpness and everything like that. Because a lot of heavyweights, obviously aren't even like domestic, anything world level. Obviously they're not as quick and not as sharp, so it's good for the work rate and things like that.
Well, you got a good opponent. You got an opponent that all the best guys have been in early on in the careers. Yes, they've all beat him. A few stopped him. But a real good test for your debut, because he's a big man.
Yeah, he is indeed.
And Jake there next year, give us a smile there, because that might be the last time we see those braces. But I believe you're going to be topping the bill there in your hometown.
I think so, yeah. Just waiting on an opponent now. But it was looking for 8 round. I'm not sure whether it'll be 6 now, but.
Well, we were hoping for, we didn't want to jinx it, but it didn't matter because it was jinxed, because you were going to fight Ben Fields.
Yeah.
We know what Ben Fields brings. He's fought many times on our show. Real good kid. They call him the O taker, because I think he took about 8 people's O's in a 50-50 record. But he's a good kid. But unfortunately, he got stopped last weekend. So first time as well in, I think, close to 40 fights.
Stuff like that happens, doesn't it? Just got to bloody wait for an next opponent now. It's one of them things.
And Tyrone, back at the Winter Gardens where you had your last fight, wasn't it? Jesse bend over. Bend down. We watching too many old films, don't I? In fact, that was one of the last ones to watch, Bend Over going Blackpool. Obviously I'm not following it, am I? But Jesse Bendama, where you look really, really good. Yeah, but unfortunately, you were carrying an injury before you went into that fight with your hand, and you've had to have a bit of time out, had a little operation.
Yeah, he took bone out me, put it into my hand and that, and stapled the bone in, so, but all back fighting, so yeah.
Well, speaking to your coach, Andy Little, Adam Little, and he's really impressed with you. He feels like the time that you've had off, you've made real good use of it, and we might see a new, improved Tyrone Bowen-Price.
I've been training hard, I've had a good camp, everything's going right, so yeah, you'll see on the night.
Well, that's going to be good, because your last few performances on the VIP shows have been very, very good. So I'm looking forward to it. And the man sat next to you there, Mr. William Goldie Galloway.
Galloway, yeah, got it right first time, lad.
Makes a change. I won't get it right again. But your new signing. You just signed with my boss and now your manager, Steve Wood.
Yeah. First fight in Blackpool actually, so good to get on with all the boys. Obviously I'll be coming for the knockout as always, so I know all these will be doing the same, so I'm going to put a good show on for everyone.
Well, you know something, I was just checking your record out and you fought a kid, because you're 4-0 and you've got one stoppage, but the kid that you stopped had never been stopped before. I think it was his 11th or 12th fight, Richard Helm, and I know him because he made his debut on one of our shows, and it was a brilliant debut. It was an absolute war with a little Italian kid from who's based in Liverpool. And it was a cracking fight, but his game is I don't know what, and so that was quite a little bit of a statement.
I just got stuck right into him from the first bell, and I could see that he shit himself straight away and he didn't want to be in there, so as soon as I've hit him with that right hand, mate, he's just flopped and that was it. So.
But your background isn't boxing,
kickboxing. Kickboxing. I've done like 20 odd professional kickboxing fights. But I know when I was getting my professional boxer's license, they was like sort of saying, oh, it doesn't mean anything. But obviously, what I've done, my first two opponents were had massive winning records, and I smoked both of them as well. So it obviously does mean something, doesn't it?
In fact, if you look at your pro career so far, your 4 opponents have not been the usual suspects. Yeah. You know, I think the kid that you made your debut as has a really good winning record.
Yeah, I think he was called Daniel.
Larcher.
Something like that. Yeah, he was like 14 wins, 12 knockouts or something like that.
Yeah,
and then just made easy work of him as well. So I think they're struggling to match me for this show, to be fair, because of that. But yeah, like I said, I'll be coming for a big finish anyway.
And will this be the first time in Blackpool for you?
First time in Blackpool, yeah. So I'm buzzing about that.
Yeah. And Jackson, I called with you yesterday down at where you training with Arnie Farnell, where not quite the last spar of camp, but one of them with was it Tom? What's Tom's surname?
Darian.
He's a good kid, isn't he?
Yeah, awkward.
Yeah, big tall kid. But is this going to be the first time for you in Blackpool as well? Because you should have, when you made your debut for us, I think it was in November. That was because the show 2 months before had been cancelled, the Queen's death. Mm-hmm. So you should have been here, last year, where Jake, you and Tyrone, all should have been on that. Yeah. We was all looking forward to it, but it didn't happen. Like I say, you had to go to Wigan, but put on a really good performance considering it was almost 4 years out of the ring. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't have known.
Yeah, I mean, September I was fuming, obviously Blackpool, and I know how good the Winter Gardens are going to be. So yeah, I'm excited for this next couple of weeks. It's going to be the start of something special for us all.
You know, I think this is what Steve was trying to build here. It's one of his favourite venues because he had many a good time, like I was saying before, with Brian Rose and Jack Armfield down here. But you know, there's 6 of you here, all Blackpool kids. You know what I mean? We've got some really other good talented lads from the VIP stable on the show. So whoever comes to the show is getting value for money, because not only are they getting 6 for the price of 1, but there's going to be 3 or 4 other kids on there that are all quality. So
I think we're all fighting with each other now to sell the tickets. Do
you know what though? I'd choose it over any show, any other show to do this with the boys. You know what I mean? It's good because we're all local lads, and I know how talented these lot are as well. So to get on the same show, all fight, we all know each other, we all want each other to do well, and that's what's good.
I suppose you can't not know one another, all living in the same town, and being involved in boxing, because it's a very small world, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
I do Phil Lewin all the time, just letting you know.
You've been one of his main sparring partners, Jake.
Yeah, that's how this come about, me getting on the show actually. I was come down to spar Lewin and I got a text.
Come in offered him, you got it offered to him to fight before debut, and he sent it to the promoter, video was like that.
I just said, nah, I've been sparring him for it now, so ended up getting on instead, selling a ticket.
Yeah, well, is that the first time you had to go around and try and sell tickets?
Yeah, first and last, tell him. I'll fight Lou next time.
but like I say, it should be it should be a great night. Like I say, the Winter Gardens is a special place. When that place is full and it's bouncing, it is brilliant. You know, with the balcony and everything. So I'm genuinely looking forward to it.
I think 3,500 the total.
I think that's what it used to be of old. So whether that's still true or not, I don't know. I might be wrong, but it's certainly it's one of the big small hall venues. And if we can get it packed, then I'm sure everyone's in for a good night. And you've got to admit, if you want a good night, Blackpool's the place to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
for one, maybe. For one.
It's one night you won't forget though, anyway. And hopefully that's going to be May the 13th, where, like I say, all 6 of you are on the show, and we've got a few other kids to fill out the card. But it should be a really, really good night, and I'm looking forward to it. So good luck, lads. I'll see you on the 13th.
Nice one,
See you later, lads. Bye.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.